we got to start with Jan Aage Fjortoft, because in the Bundesliga, it was first against second. And you know what? Going into this game, I thought, maybe this is a trap game, Jan, for Bayern, because Leverkusen had won a bunch of games in a row. Yeah. I don't think that they only lost once, and that was that crazy cluster mess against Borussia Dortmund. Plus, I thought, the manager, Gerardo, Rico, Suave, he's getting things done post-break. And then after 36 minutes, they're 5-0 down at home. And Bayern, and it wasn't Leverkusen being terrible, it was Bayern being ridiculously good and as dominant, I thought, in that first half hour, as I've seen them play in the Bundesliga in a long time.
Yeah, I think that not only that, boys, it was like when they're losing against Frankfurt, you always get that feeling, maybe there is a chance that they can lose 2 games in a row, which Bayern never do, by the way. But there's always this hope that they will do that. And when you come, I was on my way home. I was in Dortmund watching Haaland again doing his stuff. And I was on my way home and I thought, well, I sit down a bit with the family and say hello and before I go into this game. And then, like you said, it just exploded. I tweeted Bayer 04 because that's their name. And while I was doing this, it was 05. So I agree. I agree with you. It was an unbelievable statement, and it's actually a quite sad statement of the Bundesliga, because I've spoken to a lot of the management of the Bundesliga. Of course, if you have a team winning 9 in a row, you need the other teams to get closer to Bayern Munich, and that is nothing to do. That is not Bayern Munich's fault. That's the other team's fault, because Bayern can't get worse. I see on Twitter they say, "Oh yeah, but they take away the big stars from the other clubs." Well, Bayern, that's the name of the jungle. That's what big clubs do. So then you just have to stop selling them those players. So unbelievable performance of Bayern. What a comeback after that bit sad 2-1 loss at home to my Eintracht Frankfurt.
We've been there before in previous seasons against Dortmund last season. We were very excited for the clash coming up, and maybe Dortmund can do it this time. They can finally beat them. And then Leipzig the season before when Nagelsmann was there, and all of that. And in the end, those games are always the same. We are so excited, and we are, oh yes, maybe this is a day where, and then Bayern smash them. Is there something psychologically in those when the other teams approach those games against Bayern, especially when it's so close, or when it's first against second, or when there's a lot at stake, and they just can't cope with the pressure, and then Bayern can, because that's what they do.
But effectively, Jules, you're asking, is there something wrong with Bayer Leverkusen? Were they not prepared mentally? Were they intimidated by Bayern? And I know we always say this. Yes, of course, they're great teams. I don't go for that psychological, metaphysical stuff. I thought this game was Bayern's movement and intensity on the pitch was close to perfect. I mean, they weren't just a little better than last season, or even in the Hansi Flick season when they won everything. I thought they were orders of magnitude better against an opponent that Leverkusen weren't bad in this game. Let's be clear. Leverkusen didn't make one or two mistakes. Am I wrong here, Jan?
No, I think you both are having it a bit right on what you're saying, because I think it's a mixture of things. Because I think that, first of all, that culture that you got in Bayern, you got that for years and years, continuity and so on and so on. That's a basic thing. And also, when you see the Bayern team now, I think they got a perfect mixture of experienced players, young players, running players, skillful players. I mean, that is one of the best Bayern things I've seen for many, many years. And of course, with Nagelsmann, you have a great manager who can improve them. As you see in RB Leipzig now, maybe going a bit backwards after he's leaving in terms of the system and organization. But I agree with you. The thing is that the movement on the if you see the movement without ball, it's sensational. Because sometimes I never played for the best teams in the world. I've never played for teams that dominate games. So that's why I find it so interesting to see these teams dominating. What's the key? And one of the keys is, of course, always when, let's say, Kimmich is on the ball, he will always have 4 or 5 options to play. If you see the Bayer Leverkusen, maybe on a good day they have 1 option. So there's always option. If you saw, there was times in the first half that Süle was kind of a striker, and he's a central half. They were just laughing there because he was shooting, he was trying everything. It was like in second half. I mean, you saw the picture of Thomas Müller and Robert Lewandowski sitting on the bench laughing because Seele is kind of replacement for Robert Lewandowski, and he's a centre half. So the movement and options what they're having is sensational.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.